Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV. I watch all the reality TV. I watch Big Brother, all the Housewives. I watch all of it, keeping up with all of it right now. I also watch all the trending shows on all the streaming apps. I watch the Netflix, the HBO Max, the Peacock, the Paramount, the Shudder. I watch all the shows on Shudder. Dragula, RuPaul's Drag Race. I watch all those. I watch all the Apple shows. I love the Apple shows. I just finished Presumed Innocent this weekend. It was probably hands down one of the best thriller series I have ever watched in my entire life. I was actually going to do that video today, but I'm trying to keep my videos in order of the shows that I have watched. In fact, I have so many videos over here that I still need to make from shows I watched a long time ago. I still need to do, because I also watch a lot of true crime and cover true crime over here. I need to do a video with my top 10 true crime documentaries that I've ever watched. I have probably watched every true crime documentary that has ever been made other than the series. So, and I try to keep up on them when they come out. So if there's a new true crime documentary series or there's an old one that you'd like me to review on over here or share my opinion about or react to, please put it in the comment section below and I will do that. I've watched so many of them. So I have to make the video today. Well, I don't have to, but these are the videos in order. The Black Widower, which is what we're going to talk about today. Presumed Innocent, top 10 true crime documentaries. Cropsey, which is a true crime documentary. Season 2 of Pretty Little Liars. Sister Wives, season 7 that I'm finishing right now. Bridgerton, season 3. I never even did my final review of Bridgerton season 3, so I got to do that. The Pillowcase Murders, The Jinx 2, The Ones Who Live, which is a spinoff of Walking Dead, and Daryl Dixon, which is a spinoff of Walking Dead. So I've got all those videos still to make over here. Just trying to, and also trying to keep up on what's going on with the TV today. And I also keep a list of all the shows that I'm currently watching. You guys want to know my weekly watch list? So, Real Housewives of Dubai, Real Housewives of Orange County, Below Deck Mediterranean, Sister Wives Season 7, Survivor Season 4, because I'm going back watching all those seasons, The Bachelorette, Welcome to Plathville, Big Brother, Homicide LA, oh no, I finished Homicide LA and did my video about that. Okay, Evil, I just started this weekend, and currently I'm watching Sharp Objects. I just started it last night. I was Google searching, like, what are the best thrillers to watch, and Sharp Objects came up. Sharp Objects is a book that, or is a TV show that was made, I think, by HBO, that was based on the book by Gillian Flynn, that came out years and years and years ago with Amy Adams. I watched the first 4 episodes last night. It's fantastic. I cannot believe that I have not watched it yet. I watched it, I think I watched, like, the first episode or half the first episode years ago, and then it just, like, was like, okay, this is slow. But now, in the summer with the heat, I'm loving the slowness of the show. It's so fantastic. And I've watched a lot of, like, Gillian Flynn wrote Gone Girl, and I've watched that movie, and I've watched a lot of her other shows that were based on her books as well, and movies. And I also love her because, if you didn't know this, the book I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara, which is my favorite true crime book of life, because it weaves her personal life also in with the investigation into the Golden State Killer. Which was later made into an HBO documentary called I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Michelle McNamara sadly passed away after the book was, I think it was even actually before the book was published, she passed away. Before the Golden State Killer was caught, she passed away. And so a lot of the documentary is narrated by her husband, her past husband, Patton Oswalt, the actor. But Gillian Flynn actually does the introduction to the book I'll Be Gone in the Dark, and it's fantastic. Her introduction's fantastic. So I'm watching Sharp Objects right now. But I want to talk about, today, I want to talk about this documentary that I watched. I don't even remember who recommended it to me now. But I watched this documentary the other night, sometime this weekend, Thursday or Friday. I watched this documentary, and it's called The Black Widower, The 6 Wives of Thomas Randolph. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of this before. I've never heard of this case before, ever. And at one point, I live in Indiana, and at one point, he lives in Indiana. He lives in Indiana, Illinois, Utah. I mean, it's like he's all over the place. So this is the documentary. I'll put it up here somewhere. The Black Widower. It just came out like a month ago, maybe 2 weeks ago on Max. It's 1 season, 3 episodes, crime documentary. The Black Widower, The 6 Wives of Thomas Randolph. 6 wives, 4 of whom are dead, have one thing in common. They all married Thomas Randolph. So we'll get to this different episodes in a second and my thoughts about this case, other than the fact that he had the worst perm in the entire world. And, yeah, and the perm was sadly one of the other victims. So anyway, I want to read to you the People article about this to give you guys a little bit more background. I don't want to read from Wikipedia, so I'm going to read this People article that just came out July 15th. Black widower was married 6 times and only 2 wives survived. He claims he was addicted to love. The investigation discovery 3-part docuseries, The Black Widower, The 6 Wives of Thomas Randolph, airs on Monday. I guess it aired on Monday, July 15th. In May 2008, 57-year-old Sharon Cos was fatally shot in what appeared to be a home invasion after returning from a date night with her husband, Thomas Randolph. Randolph told police in Las Vegas that he found her dead and then shot a masked intruder, claiming he acted in self-defense after the intruder killed Sharon, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported. Investigators later learned that the intruder was a handyman named Michael Miller, who Randolph hired to kill Sharon, his 6th wife, in order to collect more than $300,000 in insurance money, prosecutors said, per the outlet. But Sharon's murder wasn't the only death surrounding Randolph. As authorities dug further, they found out that Randolph was married 6 times, with only 2 of his former wives still alive. Several died under mysterious circumstances, leading to a sinister nickname, the Black Widower. Randolph is the new subject of a 3-part docuseries, The Black Widower, The 6 Wives of Thomas Randolph, which premieres on Monday, July 15th, on Investigative Discovery, which is now part of Max. The series features police archival footage and interviews with prosecutors, as well as those who know Randolph and his wives. 2 of his wives are interviewed as well, his 2 surviving wives, following him as he stands accused and is eventually convicted of the double murders. Okay, this documentary was so good. It was so good because it was scary, and the story I didn't know anything about, and it actually, the final court case just ended at the tail end of 2023. He just got convicted of the double murders of his wife Sharon and the handyman Michael. And so what happened is, they came home from dinner. Supposedly they were on a date, and she said she wanted to go home and have sex with him, so they came home, and she walked in ahead of him, and she got shot by supposedly an intruder, this Michael Miller guy. And when Thomas Randolph came in the house, he shot him. What's interesting when you watch this is that they show, and like I said, there's always going to be a lot of spoilers in this, they show like this walkthrough with the police investigator, the detective, who was very, very smart. It was interesting to me because the first defense attorneys for him, he fires like all these defense attorneys, okay? And these one guys are talking about him, and she says to him, like, do you really think that he's innocent to this day? And the guy's like, I'm not going to answer that. You can tell he totally does not believe he's, innocent at all, and he makes jokes about him and whatever, and him firing the attorneys. The last 2 guys that he hires are like these very serious attorneys from Las Vegas, and they, like, to this day, like, proclaim his innocence. Like, they were like, oh no, like, people die all the time. Okay, this man had 4 women die, and totality over all the women dying, it was $1 million that he had gotten out of life insurance policies. Not only that, he had life insurance policies on these women and their kids, many of which without their knowledge. Like, they might know that he had like 1 policy out on them, but some of these women, they had like this. His one wife had it was his second wife, because his first wife is in it a lot. They interview her, and she's like in disguise and stuff like that because she's still afraid of like something happening if he would get out of jail. There's also this guy that's in it, this whistleblower guy, that was his, like, friend from back in the day that was, like, much younger than him, that worked with him and whatever. And he was the one that, like, they interview for the court case. They're not able to end up using him for the last court case because there's a mistrial. And so, because the jury can't come to a conclusive decision. So there's a mistrial. Well, they retry him again. And so they can't use the guy the second time because they have to use a different angle, and they can't, like, he appeals it. And that's why it happened. I'm, like, getting 2 different, I'm getting Homicide LA mixed up with this. So he appeals it, and he appeals that it was unfair that the judge allowed his past conviction on a wife. Like, so he went to trial for another murder of another wife, and he was found not guilty. So they want to bring that back up into this current trial, and also have the testimony of this guy that he used to work with that said, you either kill my wife or I'll kill you, in the very same manner that his wife was killed in Las Vegas. So 30 years before, he'd been planning this murder of a woman he didn't even know. And so he tells a lot of his story of, like, knowing this guy and having to be on the run because he thought this guy was going to kill him. All this. I mean, he's, like, even scared, like, he's going to get out of jail and come and kill him to this day. Like, in the as of last year, he was scared of it. His first wife is in disguise. She talks a lot through it. His daughter is in a lot of it. His daughter, like, she believes a lot of it. Like, she believes him a lot until the very end. And she's like, there's this point in court where she's like, I don't, like, want to tell every little detail, so if you guys haven't watched it. But she's like, that was the moment that I was like, oh no, he did these things, right? And then there's a second wife of his that talks a lot, and her name is Gayla, and I love this woman so much. I mean, this woman is like, she is the real deal. I don't know where she lives, Indiana, Minnesota, Utah, or whatever. I think she's in Illinois. But she is like total Midwest all the way, and she is hilarious. And she's like, at the very end, like her and her new partner, like they go to the court trial, and she's like, you can tell, I mean, this gal is like a 5-pack red smoker a day. I mean, she's like, talk like this. She's like, I can't wait to see him get convicted and put in the electric chair. I want to see him fry. I mean, this woman is so hilarious. And she saw his number like 35 years, 40 years ago. I mean, she figured him out then. And and she says, like, I signed off on the life insurance policy, but like, I didn't know it was about all that. So she divorced him. I mean, she is so smart, and she's like there the whole time. She wants to see him be convicted and everything. She is fantastic in this. The story is really, really sad because there's not a lot of people that are advocating for these women. In fact, a lot of the police in the past, when people would report things to them, would just be like, oh no, it was natural causes. Whatever. One of his wives that passes away, her daughter believes that he killed him because she's like in the hospital over medical issues, and he tells the daughter to leave the room, and then like half an hour later comes out and says like, I can't believe I lost another wife. And so she swears that that somehow Thomas Randolph killed her mother. But there's no real evidence to that. It looks like she died of natural causes. What's weird about, and then he was like supposed to take care of her daughter and whatever, and so there was life insurance policy. It's all about life insurance policies. I think really what happened was that he had already been doing the life insurance policy things, but when he had like the wife that died from the medical issue, and he realized he could continue to do it, that he kept just like, that was his like MO. Like he was just going to keep on doing it over these life insurance policies, which I don't think he ever had to pay back. I think they said at the very end, like he never had to pay back any money, over $1 million in life insurance policies. I mean, it was crazy. I could not believe it when I was watching this documentary. And they wheel him in, and he's got like long permed white hair, and it's like back in these two little things. And he is like, I mean, he's scary to even watch and listen to because he like believes himself so much. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. You can sit there when you're listening to him, and you can tell like how scary he could be to talk to. The second wife is like really sad. So the first wife, like they get divorced, and he's like, the day of his divorce, the day that they signed the paperwork, he marries his second wife, this Becky. And she seemed really nice, and like his kids liked her, and the ex-wife even becomes friends with her and things like that. And she ends up getting murdered in a very, very similar way, and they end up saying that she took her life. And the police will never really look into it, even though there's a lot of people that are like saying this is not what happened, like she didn't do this or whatever. And she had 5 insurance policies on her that were like, I think $300,000 or something like that. Maybe they were $200,000. But 5 insurance policies. And he also still had insurance policies on his ex-wife. At the very end, they found out that he still had insurance policies on a lot of these women, and they were completely unaware of it. One of the most interesting things that came out in the final court case, because like the last episode and a half is all about the court cases. One of the things that came out was while he was with his wife that was murdered at the end, that they convicted him for murder, that he was having an affair with another woman. He meets all these women online, okay, is how he did it. I think through Match.com or something like that is what he said. So he's with this woman, and he's been dating her the entire time that it's like every time he gets a wife, it's like he's already planning the next wife. Like he married his second wife on the day that his divorce with his first wife was final. And the day that he started, like around the same time that he started dating his wife, his last wife, he started dating this woman online that he met on Match.com. Oh, wait, it gets better than that. He told her she needed to have a life insurance policy and he needed to be the beneficiary. And people didn't think this was weird. And the attorneys were like, oh no, people take life insurance policies out all the time. You take a life insurance policy out on some gal that doesn't even live in your state, that you met on Match.com, that you're having an affair on your wife. Why is she? And they're like, oh no, this is totally normal. People take. Now I can understand. I've been with my husband. You know, we've been together for 16 years and married almost 16 years and almost married 13 years in August. Like, obviously, it's normal for us to have life insurance policies on each other, right? I can even understand people that aren't married, that have been together for a long time, or children and parents and things like that. But a gal that you have dated online while you're married, you have a life insurance policy on her. Wait, and on her kids? I mean, seriously? I was like, this man is crazy, and these attorneys are defending it. Like, I think there becomes a point where it's like, I I understand these attorneys and like they can't say anything and whatever, but like the case is over, it's closed, he's been convicted. To come out and say, yeah, I do think it's kind of weird. I mean, they wouldn't even back down from that. They wouldn't even back down to say that they thought it was kind of weird that he had a life insurance policy on this woman that he was cheating on with. Like, I mean, they wouldn't even say that. They like wouldn't back down from any of it. I was like, you know, at this point, like, you're now in a documentary, you're kind of showing, like, who your true character. I mean, it's one thing to be an attorney and say, no, I swear by their innocence. I get that, right? But to then also say, to back it up and say, no, it's completely normal. People get life insurance policies on people all the time. I'm telling you right now, okay? I don't know what kind of world people live in, and people all the time, if you go to my Instagram, I have an entire tab over there called fakes. I don't even add to it anymore because there's been so many. People take my pictures on my Instagram accounts, and they use them for fake things on like sugardaddy.com. Facebook is the biggest one on Facebook. And then they'll say, like, I don't live in this country, can you send me some? They use my picture, and they make up fake names. There's literally hundreds of them, okay? I don't know where, and what's so crazy to me is that I'll get a lot of DMs from people, and they'll be like, my mom is sending like thousands of dollars to this guy and talking to him on WhatsApp. And I'm like, I don't even have, you know, these. I've never in my life ever been on a dating app. If you ever see my picture on a dating app, I've never once been on a dating app. And these kids will reach out to me. It's been sons too. And they'll say like, my mom is sending thousands of dollars to this guy and she swears she's dating him. And I showed her your videos and she's like, no, this guy is faking. And like I'm faking being this guy that works on like some oil rig in the middle of the ocean that can never talk to her on the phone or FaceTime her, but needs her to send her thousands of dollars because he can't pay for his mortgage, right? And she believes that. She believes I'm the fake online. I mean, it's like people believe this stuff. I'm telling you right now, if I was dating somebody online and they were like, we need to get a life insurance policy, I'd be like, you need to get fucked. Seriously? There's not going to be any life insurance policy with me signing my money over to you. Like, there's 100 people I can think of before I would think of the person that I just met. And she does it. The woman does it. She gets a life. You have all these people in your life. You meet this guy online. I mean, this is like the sad condition that we are in this world. There's so many people that want to be in love. So many people that want to be in love in relationships. You know, I can remember my mom and I, years ago, I had gone through a breakup. My mom's passed in 2008. So this was like, I was in my 20s. I was going through a breakup. And, we were watching like Jerry Springer and these two guys were fighting over this woman. And I said, Mom, I don't understand why I can't find a man. And she was like, nobody's promised a partner in life. If you find love one time, that's amazing. But some people don't ever find it once in their life, right? And yet these people have all these people around them, and they meet somebody online. It's like immediately and then they're like later, like, I can't believe it. I got catfished. I signed this. Listen, we're all grown adults, okay? Like, it's just craziness to me. And the fact that he got away with this for so many years, and this is the thing, is that so many people brought up the situation with his second wife, Becky, and all these people were afraid of him and thought he was like this horrible guy. If something had been dealt with then, there would have been, you know, 3 other wives that were still alive. And that's the sad tragedy of this. But this is probably one of the best, most interesting, most intriguing. When I say like true crime, it's hard because if I say like it's like really, I mean, there were some like really like laughable scenes in this, especially with him. But when I say like it's a really good true crime, what I mean by that is that it's intriguing, it's interesting. I think it's well told. I think that it is like there's closure to it. Like I love The Keepers, but like The Keepers, like there was no closure to it. I know that they couldn't offer it, but to me it was just kind of like, I want to know what's going to happen next, and maybe they're going to do a follow-up. I don't know if they ever did or if we'll ever find out. But anyway, this one is conclusive. It's in 3 episodes, completely closed down and things like that. And so it's really, really well done. But also for me, it's really important that they honor the victims and they tell the victim story. And this one definitely did. So before I go any further, let me read to you, hold on just a second. Where do I have this on here? I wanted to read you the 3 episodes that are on here. So the first episode is called Luckiest Son of a Gun. And it says, a home invasion results in the shooting of Thomas Randolph, sixth wife. Police discover her murder wasn't the only death surrounding Randolph. The second episode is called Web of Wives. Black widower Thomas Randolph's dark past and multiple marriages emerge in the lead up to his trial. And part 3 is called This Is War. Thomas Randolph stands trial for the brutal murder of his wife Sharon and her handyman Mike Miller. It was fantastically done, and I would highly recommend it to anybody out there. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please give me recommendations for shows to watch if you want me to watch them. It can be like a 1-part true crime documentary or show or a series. I will watch either. So anyway, I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.